This is the first episode of Cubing Fanatics. This is just a podcast that we're going to talk about a bunch of different speed cubing topics and big issues going on with that area. We got two hosts for this show. One is myself. My name is Noah. I'm a speed cuber from Missouri. And the other is Josiah.
And I'm also a speed cuber from Missouri.
Yeah. In this podcast, we're just gonna basically just talk about a lot of controversial topics or like big news and like local news mainly.
And cubing records as well.
Cubing records, world records, national records. We're not going to cover like every single record that's ever happened because that would be a lot. But we're mainly going to cover like the world records and like state records in our areas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're going to probably divide this podcast, each episode, into around 4 segments. We'll figure it out as we go. We'll probably the first segment is going to be just talking about basic things. The second and third one it's gonna be like recent records and any controversial topics. And then the fourth segment, which is gonna be the very last segment, we're gonna try and talk about the main big thing that's happened so far in the past month or so or two. So yeah.
That's what this podcast is all about.
It is about that. And so we'll probably just go into our first segment of this entire podcast. It's going to be recent records.
Real quick, if you have like any suggestions, if you want this podcast on Spotify, just kind of let us know. That would help you listen to it better.
And if you have any ideas for like a special segment or anything, just let us know about that as well. Probably in the future, we'll bring along certain guests to join in, but like every other episode or so, just we'll do that. Not for this one. This is our first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, recent records. There's been a crap ton, a lot.
Yeah, that's for sure.
A lot recently. How many world records has there been? There's been close to like 10 or so, right?
Yeah, something like that. It's like 7 to 10, like big records, and they're like world records as well.
Obviously,
like...
yeah. The biggest one is what Yi Hang's average 4.25, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's the biggest record.
And he's broken it what 2 or 3 times.
I think he's broken it 3 times so far.
3 times so far
in a row.
Yeah, and I think he also has, unless it's Timon, I think he has the longest streak of sub 5 second 3-3 averages in a row as well.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that, but it's probably true because he's constantly getting sub 4s, sub 3s. I don't know how many sub 4s he has right now, but it's got to be like at least 10.
I think it's like, yeah, it's close there. I know he got a 3.99 in that 4.25 average. I don't know if it was counting or not, but it's pretty nuts. Yeah, he got like a 4.7, a 3.9, a 4.8, 4.0, and 3.9. So yeah, he got. I'm pretty sure he got a counting 3.9, two sub 4s in average.
Yeah, and just in that average, he got 2 sub 4s.
I'm guaranteeing you, if Timon doesn't do it, Yi Hang's easily going to be the first with a sub 4 average.
Like, yeah.
Not even
because he's just entering his cubing career. Like a lot of these, like Timon and Max, they're like, I want to say they're in the early 20s. I want to say.
Yeah, Max is I think 27 or so.
Okay, so early late 20s. So and Yi Hang is so young that
is Yi Hang 9 or he's low. He's low.
Yeah, he's like 9, 10. It's like what?
Whenever I was his age, I know all I was doing was falling on the ground and picking my nose or something like that. I can't really remember.
Yeah,
he's over here getting multiple world records, and that's not the only world records. That has been happening because we got Max Park has been doing crazy. He got
Speaking of Max Park,
speaking of what he just been doing, he got
6x6 world record single.
Yeah, 6x6 single and average at the Cubing USA Western Champ. He got,
God,
I think
yeah.
he got a 58 single, which is nuts.
For six
Because
by six, that's crazy.
yeah, I think the previous was a 59,
Yeah, like what's
and his
your best?
average is like a 105.
Yeah.
That's also nuts. But what I think is nuts also is two world records happened back to back that were for the same event. It was like the clock single world record
Oh
was
yeah, that was
broken.
crazy.
First is broken by I don't know if I can say his name.
Vlad
It's
Vladimir.
Volodymyr. Volodymyr.
Vladimir is
He got
his first name. Yeah.
2.15 in he's from Ukraine, and I don't know, he one of his competitions he broke it with a 2.15.
Yeah, it was in the
and
Midwest. I can tell you that.
and then very recently, right after that, Brendan Dunnigan got a 1.97, which is the first official
Sub two.
sub two single for clock.
That's a big step for clock. I feel like because some people are
Yeah,
saying it's kind of fallen behind as a speed event, as kind of like one of those fast side events. It's kind of fallen behind.
yeah.
I think this 1.98, 1.97
So that's definitely,
has uh,
definitely showing
kind of
people this. Yeah.
yeah, it's fast. It's a fast
And,
event.
and then I think there's two more world records again. Um,
There's the Pyraminx ending
yeah, the
supposedly.
Pyraminx average of 1.27, right?
Yeah, it's 1.27, and
Lincoln Zhang got
that's
that.
I just want to say that's crazy because I watched a video and he did it on a GAN Pyraminx,
He
and
got
that's
two counting 1.2s, right?
yeah, yeah, that is yeah, two counting 1.2s, and that's
Yeah.
just crazy because he did it on a GAN Pura, and any Puramains, if you're listening to this or watching this, you know how how bad the GAN Pyraminx is. It's like literally trash. You can't do anything on
I
it.
wouldn't know. I'm not a great Pura mixer, but yeah, I have heard it's not the best for world class.
Yeah.
But
So
apparently, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I guess I'm wrong because Zhang got world record on it. So
yeah,
ignore what I say.
yeah. That is also a proving thing that if you're slow or trying to improve and you can't improve,
Yeah,
don't
you
blame
don't
it.
need to spend
Don't blame it on the hardware.
600 on the best hardware ever.
Yeah,
As long as
when you
it's
yeah
good hardware, it doesn't. It's
yeah,
fine.
don't blame it on the hardware because
Yeah,
it's yeah.
I'll
Don't
make
blame
it.
it on the hardware.
And then we got one more world record, and that was the square one average as well
Yeah,
by
that was that a
by
4.8.
Dylan. Yeah, Dylan Bombach.
Uh,
Uh,
he's worked
four
hard for
point
that.
4.8.
Hmm.
And I don't even know how to say it. I am not a good um squanner. I don't know CSP. I don't know any of those fancy methods,
Yeah, I
but
just relearned
I
how to
do
solve
know
it.
I know the difficulty of how obviously how hard it is to get that. Because so the world record single, isn't it, is it's 3 point what is it,
I
3
want to
point
say 3.4 or something.
3.4, I'm pretty sure, by Ryan Pilot. And to think that the average is only like it's practically 3 by 3, where the single is what, 3.15, and now it's 4.25 average, and now
3.13 for 3 by 3
3.13, sorry. And then the average for in square one is 3.4 and a 4.8 average. So they're basically
Yeah, it's basically 3 by 3.
almost the same thing. It's just a little bit different, which is crazy. I don't. And when did Dylan get this? He got that only like 1 2 weekends ago or something like that.
Yeah, I think so, something like that.
Very recently.
And then we
Yeah,
got the clock OCR average.
yeah. The oceanic average. And who got that? Lachlan, right?
Yes, and that was in Australia.
Yes. Yep. And that was a 3.07
7.
average, almost sub two average, which is
Yeah,
nuts. And I don't know what that places him in the world rank, but I think it's like top five. I think it was. I think it was
yeah. I
fourth.
would
I
say
think.
it's like top 5, 4, something like that.
Yeah, and that was just basically the world records and oceanic records. I know there's been a lot of state records, especially in Western America, USA right now.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's been nuts. I don't get why how all these records are getting broken in the span of like 4 weekends. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, it's like,
it's
can I get a record, please? Can I get something?
all Europe got the good scrambles. I don't know. It's
Yeah, they
crazy.
got the good. They're just passing out free records to people.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's close to 10 world records, an oceanic record.
And that's in like 3 weeks, right?
Um. That all nows are just 3 weeks ish, somewhere around those.
Yeah, I
It's
definitely think it's a crazy August month for cubing. August was a really crazy month for cubing.
Yeah, people will remember that. I think there like two world records broken on the same day from opposite ends of the world. Like
Uh,
I think it was a Friday of like 2 weekends ago or something like that.
I don't remember hearing anything about
I
that,
think
but
I think like the day Dylan got his square one average, something else happened. It might have been the oceanic record. I don't remember.
hmm,
But
that
yeah,
is,
all in all, it's just a nuts time for records.
yeah,
It's pretty crazy, and that's about that for recent records. Which it's probably not going to be like that for most of the segment. Every time we do this segment, because that was a heap of records.
yeah, that was a crazy amount of
We're not going to get
records.
that for a while.
Yeah, that was exciting, exciting stuff to talk about because there's so many of them, and just some people that haven't gotten records yet, like Dylan. I don't think he's gotten like a world record yet. Brendan, I don't think he has a world record either.
Okay.
Lincoln, he had the world record before that. Uh,
Who's Lincoln?
yeah, he
Lincoln.
had a world record before that, I think.
Okay.
Uh, the OCR average was pretty good as well.
Yeah. What do you think the chances are for the first person to beat the 3x3 single? Because since it's 3.13,
There's quite
but
a big drop. Quite a big drop.
it is a big drop. But I think the only people at home who's ever officially gotten a sub 3 is Luke Garrett, um, Max Park. I
Leo.
don't. Leo got one, but Leo has not been doing well competitively that well. I mean, he's still really good. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but
Leo's actually one of my favorite cubers.
yeah,
So
I think the people who can do it is who have the commitment and is able to handle their nerves to get if they see a lucky scramble because it's not an average. If they see a lucky scramble, they get one shot at it to get a sub 2
it's
or sub 1 3.
Max.
Sorry, so
Max
it's either
Timone.
Max. Max is very very good at nerves.
Yeah.
Max, um,
Timone with his efficient
Max,
solutions.
Max. Well, I mean, obviously the big three, Max Timone and Yihang, but also I think Maddie.
Yeah,
Uh,
Maddie.
Maddie could do it.
Because he got that 308 in well, that was that nationals last year, I want to say.
Um, I don't recall which one it was, but yeah,
He got that
I think
308 in the uh national national cup or something like that. I forget.
yeah,
It was crazy actually.
yeah. And him, Maddie and Timon, they've been doing very well, especially mainly because they've been adopting the ZB method a lot more, and we'll definitely go into the ZB method in a later episode into way more in depth. But since they've been adopting that, what Timon just got a 4.7 average, didn't he? Just using ZB.
Yeah, just using ZB.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be really beneficial to like the future of 3x3
And do you and do
in the
you
next year or two.
and do you see yourself learning ZB?
I can see myself learning ZB. ZB is a very big task to undertake. It's over 400 algorithms in total. You got GLLT, GLLU, full T, full U, and then GLLL. I'm pretty sure there's so many different ways to start it out with, but I think it's very beneficial, especially because with what Timon is very very good at. One of his main skills at 3x3 is he's very good at pattern recognition, especially PLL recognition. he knows what PLO it's going to be before he finishes OLO.
He's like
And
one-sided PLO recognition.
yeah, he is exactly. He can see PLO before PLO happens, and
Yeah,
that helps him super well on ZB because
it's
if he can
fluid.
he can get to the ZB cross very easily after he's done with his last pair because he knows how to. I forget what it's called, but there's a set of algorithms to do if you're trying to get your OLO to become a ZB before you get OLO. So he's
I
very
think
good at that.
that's I think that's winter variation.
Yeah. Um,
I
and
don't know 3x3, so
especially if it's a cross case, Timon is very good at recognizing PLOs if it's a cross case. But now that he's doing ZB, he doesn't need to learn PLO. He doesn't need PLO recognition for that. It's definitely the main problem. The only problem with ZB is just how long it takes to recognize,
Mhm.
because it's very easy to recognize if it's a cross case or whatever. But if you're really looking at a cube and you're trying to find out you have to look at every single color
Yeah,
on at least two sides, sometimes three. It takes at least average, I think, 2 seconds to 3 seconds just to recognize, and it's very hard to tell if if it's useful to just learn full ZB, but it's working out for
for the
Timon
top
especially
guys.
well.
Yeah, yeah, for the top guys, worked pretty well.
Mainly because I'm pretty sure it's just because Timon has such crazy pattern recognition, and
Yeah,
Yihang has more become. Yihang interests me because he's not. This is gonna sound weird, but he's not efficient. I
yeah,
I've looked at his solves, and there's so many ways that he could have gotten such a better time on his sub 4 second solves that it's like I feel like if I looked at his 4.25 record or average, and if he did some unnecessary rotations, he also paused in places that he didn't really need to pause in, and he did some certain inserts that could have been much faster, and he just did it just because, like, it's very hard to think that short span of moment, but
yeah. I think he can look ahead so far,
he can
and
look ahead. His look ahead is what gets him those world records.
his TPS. I mean,
His TPS, yeah, his TPS.
even with like miniature hands, his TPS is crazy. It's like his TPS is better than me, and I got these big boy hands.
It's mainly Max is king because of TPS.
Yeah,
Timon is king because of efficiency,
mm.
and Yihang is a
Yihang is look
king
ahead.
of look ahead. And if one cuber, I feel like we're to master all look ahead,
It'd be the end of
TPS
it'd be
efficiency.
the end of 3x3.
I think it would reach the point of, and also this is probably gonna be another topic for a future video. I think it's gonna reach the end of what are the limits? What's
Of
gonna be the limit
humans.
for?
Of
Well,
humans.
what's gonna be the limit for 3x3 records? Because
Mhm.
there is going to be a point where someone in the 300 quintillion ways to scramble a cube is going to get like
The
a
two move
five
scramble.
a five move scramble, and a world record
It's
holder
cooked.
or someone is going to see that, is going to maybe get that, and he's going to know how to do it, and he's going to do it in a second or so, or a point less than a second. It's going to
Yeah.
get to that point, however far in the future, and that's going to become to a point it's never going to be broken ever, because that's the luckiest scramble you can possibly ever get. And
I mean, what if the scramble's like this? This is like six
exactly,
moves. It's like 1, 2, 3. I mean,
yeah.
it
Well, you can't. 3 moves aren't allowed, but so it's like four or less, or four or more. Um, isn't that right? Because it's 3 moves. 3 movers are don't count for two or
yeah. But what if
whatever.
you got like a scramble like this where you just have to like insert these two? It's just like it's
Then
like
like someone with crazy TPS,
I didn't even
Max,
do it correct.
Max, or yeah, see, like someone like you would get so nervous.
Yeah, I get like so. I'd be like,
Like
what
three
is
seconds,
this?
4 seconds. But it's gonna get however it happens, it's gonna get to a point where for certain records, cubing is going to become impossible to break it, no matter how good you are.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a sad day when that
Although
happens.
it is going to be well past my time, well past any of our.
I'm gonna be in my 60s.
I would say the next, if cubing is as big as it is and it continues to grow, I would say in the next 30 years,
We're gonna be popular.
almost half the events are going to become completely impossible to break.
Yeah, I mean, Pyraminx is already on its way. I
Pyramid,
mean,
yeah,
Pyraminx and two
I would
by
say
two.
the first one to go is 2x2,
Yeah,
100%.
because eventually people are just gonna get 5 4 moves in a row.
Not the average, but the single, because the single is oh, is it
Zero
point
point
three?
0.5,
No, no,
point 0.3.
it's
I mean,
point
0.43.
yeah 0.43. It was broken. Wasn't I think the original was 0.44 and it was broken. And that was a crazy moment because it was broken after 5 years. But I'm getting off track. 2x2 I think is going to be the first to go. It's going to be a point where it's going to be like 0.1 second because it's going to be a 4 mover that they just somehow the cube is going to be so good to where they can actually do that in 0.1 second. Especially if they, again, another topic later on is especially if they do the Yihang method.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll be getting to that later.
that's pretty interesting to
Yeah,
know.
we can't
But
talk
yeah,
about that.
that is the recent record segment. Although we
Mhm.
kind of trailed off there.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that rabbit trail.
Then we got our fourth and final subject, and it's the main subject. Although it's focusing on two different things.
Mhm.
It's gonna be about the GAN 15
Kind of like cube
release,
releases. Kind of
and
like cube releases.
yeah, the cube. It's probably well, yeah. Usually the second segment is probably gonna be like big cube releases, but for this first episode, we needed to talk about the podcast before we did anything like that.
Yeah,
So
I
now,
think we'll mush cube releases and recent records kind of combined in because that's like a
yeah,
weekly update that we have
yeah.
to give.
But the main
So
subject, besides the GAN 15, is going to be adding FTOs. And so,
is that a thing?
yeah, I was very confused whenever I first heard about the topic. I had no idea what it was. And then
Yeah.
I was studying it, and I was like, oh, it's that little triangle cube. If you
It's a
don't know
two.
if you don't know what an FTO is,
There
he'll
you go.
show on the screen right now. And if you don't,
That's that's my version of an
it's
FTO.
basically two pyramids stacked on top of one another.
Except it doesn't turn like this. It doesn't turn like this. It turns by its face. So like it's a face turning
And
on.
if you aren't seeing the screen, it basically turns like it's like a Minx cube, but like just imagine two tiny pure Minxes stacked on top of one another, and that's kind of the basic image. Um,
And a layer removed.
yeah, yeah, and a layer removed. And I looked into it more. I was because people are the reason why people are obsessing over these FTOs is there's some forums about it and there's people talking all about it. Is they're wanting the WCA to add it to as an official event, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
They're really pushing for it.
I was actually intrigued because I've been wanting a new event. I mean, what was the newest event? Clock, right?
Scube.
Or,
Scube has been the newest event.
oh, Skew.
Yeah, 2014. 2014 Scube is added.
When was Clock released?
Actually do not know that. I want to say 2011, maybe.
Hmm.
I can
Okay.
search it up real quick.
Yeah. So, other than Scube or Clock being the newest event, I've been wanting a new event for a little while because
Yeah.
I didn't want them to keep adding on to the in by in for a special event. Like, thank
Eight
goodness
by
they
eight.
removed if they did
Yeah.
8x8, I would have probably quit.
Yeah.
Or
Like
if they did like,
W.
honestly, I'm still on board for 4x4 one handed.
No.
It can be done.
No, you aren't.
Yeah, the fastest people can do around average like 40 seconds. And honestly, it's not that bad of a time. It's about that 40 seconds for 4x4 is usually decent for anyone. But anyway, most people I didn't want a new in by in event where it's like, you know how we have 3x3 one handed or 3x3 blindfolded, or they added 4 and 5x5 blindfolded. I didn't want to keep adding on to that like 6x6 blindfolded, although I don't know if that's possible. Someone else tell me because I have no idea.
Okay. Real quick, update on the clock. clock was added to the WCA in 2003 at the
2003. So
World
Cube is the newest
Championship.
event, and
Yeah.
that the newest event has been added to the official events. The WCA is Cube 2014.
Yep.
So it's kind of time for a new event because there. How many events are there in total? 16.
There's seven. I want to say there's 17
There's
events.
17, I believe.
And I do not want to see a bigger blind cube. I don't want to see a branch
I
off.
want to see. I don't want to see an 8x8 or 6x6
Yeah.
blindfolded or something like that.
Or like even 4x4 one hand. I want to see like a brand new event. Like I want
4x4 blindfolded would be good, but maybe it's not the best time for it right now.
Yeah,
I definitely
honestly,
want to see a new event.
I want to see like a brand new event like this. I want to see
My
like a mini
original thought,
3x3.
yeah, my original thought was mirror cubes.
Like a
You know the mirror
mini
cube, right?
3x3. I want this to be
Mm,
yeah. But
like
yeah,
a mirror cube would be nice, but
yeah.
or a master pyramix or something. And
That's what I want.
My thoughts were along those same tracks. So in FTO, I looked up. I was like, how long would this take for like an average speed cuber, like a decent speed cuber?
Mhm.
Like let's just take someone who's like second in the state, your state or something. It would take them probably around 55 seconds if they're really good. If
That's a
they're
good event.
decent.
I like that event. It's kind of like 4x4.
That's not slow at all.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's like I'm assuming it would be like it take an average speed cuber like me. It would take us probably around minute 10.
Okay, include yourself in this. I'd
Yeah.
average like 35.
And so I'm definitely gonna be ordering one as soon as I possibly can to try and learn how to solve it and test it out to see if it works more. But I definitely think adding a new event would be really
It would also help the WCA
useful.
grow a little
It
bit.
help more people get into Evolve, just like every event, and it just give other people another thing to focus on finally.
Yeah. Mhm. I don't.
Yeah.
What I really don't want to see is another like 2x2 added, like a gear cube or something like that, where it's
Because
just so
people
it
say
would
they want a
end
new
quicker.
event. Yeah, like mirror cubes or mirror cubes, but like mirror cubes and gear cubes are good, but they're technically not a new puzzle. They're just 2x2s and 3x3s made into a different way, like where they're just twisted differently.
Yeah.
Same with the puppet cubes. Also, if anyone adds a puppet cube, I will hunt you down. Those
Whoa.
are in existence.
I think out of all the cubes added to the WCA, I want to say these two are probably my two favorite added.
So the square one and the Megaminx, right?
I think they're the most unique cube. I also like Pyraminx because of its shape. It's just kind of a unique puzzle. But I feel like Square One, is kind of a shape shifting puzzle. Megaminx is a big and awkward kind of shape puzzle. So I kind of want to see something very unique brought to
And
the
and
WCA.
this FTO can also be added on to this, and it would be a new big cube, but it
Yeah,
would also be a much needed new Minx cube because we only have
side
two
event.
Minx.
Yeah, because we only have two Minxes. Yeah,
It'd be kind of a all round situation. It would almost be treated like a big cube in by in big cube, but it's also in the family of Minxes and a new side event. So it's kind of a hybrid cube if you kind of think about it.
yeah, and I think
And it'd be
it
almost first hybrid, wouldn't it be?
yeah
Like
it brings its own unique solving. It has a weird shape. It
close
takes a
to that
little
is Mega
yeah
Minx.
yeah. It has
And
a weird shape. It has a different solving technique to it. It
yeah,
has it just has everything a new WC event needs, kind of.
yeah, right. Yeah. And I think it'd be good to add a new event. So we'll see how people
Take it.
take it and see what the officials will say about it. If they add it, it'd be pretty sick because I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever attended a competition where a new event is brand new.
Mhm.
The only thing I can ever remember doing that a big new thing has happened to an event is like the clock pin rule regulation. Where
Yeah.
you do the pins right. That's like the biggest thing. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Yeah. So
Brand new change. Yeah.
it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Um,
So should we move on to the final segment?
yes. Well, it is part of this main segment. It's gonna be the GAN 15 release. I do not know much about it. I've heard very vague and mystic rumors and whispers, reverent whispering in my ear.
that's kind of
Can 15, can 15.
you
Like
need to
I don't care about it.
$120 on it. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be
Uh,
100, close to 130. Yeah, no, but real speaking, no.
I haven't heard any prices on it.
I haven't heard anything about it. I've definitely
Or
heard people guessing, and
it's supposed to release by the end of 2024, so possible Christmas present for some
yep.
kids. Maybe talk to your parents about that. Possible Christmas present. Make them listen to this podcast and be like, "Hey, it's coming out." Uh,
We
I've
don't got
also
much information. It's a speed cube, Don't worry about the
yeah
price when you look at it, but hey,
yeah just
it's if
buy
the
it.
word it has GA in it in the words, it's gonna be expensive and good.
Yeah,
But
it kind of reminds me of something. I hear something Apple. Oh, it's yeah. Never mind.
yeah, no. Um,
I have heard that a lot of videos I've watched like two or three, and a lot of them say that it's not supposed to have adjustable magnets. That's just what
so
I've
no
heard.
adjustable magnets in it.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. Don't get it and be like, oh, it
That
has
would be
adjustable
interesting.
magnets.
I honestly, I I own a Tornado V2 as a main, and it
Mm,
has adjustable magnets, and I love it a lot. But I don't use the adjustable magnets. I don't care about that.
I'm in
I
the
just know what it
V5.
feels.
I'm in the V5, and it does not have any adjustable magnets
Honestly,
whatsoever.
I think adjustable magnets are good, but honestly,
You
it
use
makes
them
the
once.
cube much more expensive than it needs to be.
Yeah,
And
I agree with
I
that.
think if they stuck to what they've just been doing, what they were doing before adjustable, it could be fine. I like the idea of if it's not going to have no adjustable magnets, it's going to be it might sell better. I agree with you. The starting price is going to be pretty
Well,
crazy sky high. It's got to
it
be around
100
110 at the very highest, but
because
probably one
what was the last cube? It was like 92. I want to say.
95. I want to say
Yeah,
it's like a
it's
decent
somewhere around
jump.
there. I think it jumps up by $10 every year. And if it doesn't have adjustable magnets, I want to see a price drop. I want to see at
I mean,
least
maybe
$20.
we have a new guaranteed two new cubes because it's going to be the GAN 15, and then a month later it's going to be the special edition GAN 15. With the
Yeah, it's gonna be special edition UV coated adjustable
little
magnets.
pink and purple peacock design or something like that.
Yeah, some crazy design that is.
That's your Valentine's Day gift for someone. I don't know.
Yeah, it's $110 GAN cube.
But in performance wise, I think like world class level performance wise, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I honestly think, in my personal opinion, it's not going to be. It's going to be worse than the 13.
Oh wow,
Uh,
you think it's gonna be worse
It's
than 13?
worse than 13. It's
The
gonna
13
be
is like the worst GAN cube. You think
it's
you're calling it?
it's bare minimum gonna be a good cube, like in
Okay.
the terms. It's gonna be a good speed cube. If we're comparing it to 11, 12, 13, I think it falls short. Maybe not 12. I don't know, but it falls short of those.
So you think it's gonna be better? You think it's gonna be better than the 13, but not as good as the 12?
No, no, I think it's gonna be better than 12, not good as 13 or 11.
Okay, the 12 actually is considered good. I don't know if you
Wait,
know
no,
that.
no, no. I think I am
Yeah,
getting the 13 and 12 mixed up. Yep,
yeah.
you're right.
The
You're
12
right.
the 12 is
The
what everybody
Yeah,
means. The
sorry.
13 everybody
Better.
means.
I think the 15 is going to be slightly or on the same plane as the 13.
Okay,
The
okay.
12 and 11, not probably not. It's not going to reach that.
And do you want to throw in a couple predictions? Do you think it's gonna have a new adjustment system, or do you think they're gonna stick with the old one?
I think with how successful, how big did the 13? Like the 13 wasn't that popular, right?
No, everybody tried it and then they didn't like it. I don't know a speedkeeper that mains the 13.
No, I don't either. And what was their newest release?
The 14? No, the
14.
GAN
I
5x5. The GAN 5x5 is their newest
as
release.
in the 3x3.
Oh,
Three by three
it's the
was
GAN 4. It's the
the
GAN
14.
14 Pro or
I
something
haven't
like
heard
that.
anything about the 14 like at all, honestly. It's just kind of become I don't know if it's being an underdog right now, but I just haven't heard anything at all.
Yeah, they came out with this like pro upgrade kit where it's like they make the centers better or something. But I don't know it. I still don't know any pro speakers who average like sub 10 that
Well,
use
the
the
main
14.
13 or 14, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think it's
kind of
gonna
dropped off.
fall in the same line as the 13. I think I mean, knowing GAN, they're gonna put a new adjustable system.
Okay.
They're gonna maybe they might not either. They're either gonna go down a new adjustable system or they're gonna go down a new thing where they're gonna add like new grooves in certain parts of the inners parts of
Mhm.
it,
Yeah.
where they claim it's gonna
Oh,
turn fast because it
yeah.
has a print design
It makes you
or
turn
something.
faster, but you still no good at cubing.
Makes you look like a Yihang.
Yeah,
Keep
it makes you look like Ehang. It has this little sensor inside that hacks cameras, hacks the timer, and makes your times faster.
But yeah, I think they're definitely gonna do something new with it. They're gonna push that part of it a lot.
Mhm.
They're gonna raise the price, and then it's gonna fail. It's not gonna fail. It's not gonna achieve what they think it's gonna achieve. So it's gonna drop down to 80 to 70 retail.
Retail, okay.
Um,
So I kind of think I don't know if it's gonna do that because I think GAN is definitely gonna notice their 3x3 popularity kind of dropping, and that's been over like 2 cubes, and it's obvious they see the popularity dropping. That's why they made the 14 Pro is because they saw the popularity
yeah,
dropping. So they had to like they were like, oh no, our popularity is dropping. We got to get the funds to actually create the 15. So I think they're definitely gonna do a better job, and they're actually gonna try, and then they're gonna jack the prices up to reclaim what they
yeah.
lost in the 13 and 14. So I think the price is gonna be off the charts,
And
and
yeah, it's gonna start that way. I don't know how it's gonna
yeah,
end.
and
This
then
could turn out to be the best cube in the world.
yeah, for a year, and then Moyu will
I'll bite my
have
tongue.
10 releases, and then but
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a good cube. I just don't think a lot
it,
of people are
it,
gonna main it.
I have that slight feeling where
I'm
it's
not
gonna
gonna like
turn
it.
out. It's gonna be It's gonna be the Tornado V3 way. It's gonna do that. It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be.
spike in
It's gonna.
popularity and then
They're gonna
drop.
do like because the V3 had the standard flagship Pioneer, right?
Hmm.
And like it had really weird. Like that's the first time anyone's ever seen of that. Where it's like three modes of like way more specialized things of each level.
Yeah.
It's almost like you could level up the cube, and no one's seen that before. So and that was so popular, and everyone loves them. And I think Max mained the V3 for a little bit, and he loved it. I think he got a record on it. I'm not sure
He got the 3x3 world record single on it.
with the V3.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, that's what I thought.
I think he broke like this unknown record on it. I don't know what it is, but he
Yeah,
broke it.
but he definitely likes the V3, and the V3 gained a lot of popularity.
Yeah. I
It's
used
pretty
to main
sick.
it actually.
I'm disappointed because I thought I had a V3.
Oh
I
yeah, you thought you had
I was
this.
telling everyone I had a V3, and but then the strange thing everyone was like, because I had black internals on my V3, and I was like, that's cool,
Lies.
but no one knew how I had black internals, and then someone told me this is a V2, man.
Yeah, I
I'm like
said
what?
that.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it
the one
was
that told him. Oh,
I thought it was someone else before you. He felt the cube. He's like, this is a V2, man. I was like, oh
yeah.
well,
You
and then
had me feel it, and I was
it
like,
didn't
yeah,
me because I was like, it's I felt the V3s because he has a V3 and some other people have V3s, and I like it a lot, but I honestly prefer my V2. Um, but yeah,
that's
it's a
weird
very
because a lot of people
popular
don't.
cube. I think they might. I have a sneaking suspicion that they might go along the same route with the GAN 13, where they might
Yeah.
do like that level up cube
Hmm.
kind of way. I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
They had that with the 14. They had the 14 Pro version and
Right.
the
Like
13 FX version or something like that. I forget.
yeah, they did it similarly. I don't know. They might do it even more similar this time. I'm not sure. They definitely have redeemed themselves. I've heard the 5x5 they released is good. Is that the first 5x5 they released?
It's the first 5x5 they released, and I heard it's absolutely amazing. I've actually tried it. I'm not any good at 5x5. I average around high 1 minute, like 155. But so I didn't really have an opinion on it, but I felt it, and it's really good. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, I think the Missouri state record is held on the GAN 5x5, I believe.
And that's by Caitlin Hinkie, I think.
Yeah. No, actually, yeah. So I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's broken some records. And then their GAN Megaminx. I'm getting that soon. I think. I hope. I'm getting that.
Yeah. After the Megaminx is good, but I've honestly heard that the what's it called is better. What
Diane
the what,
Diane Pro.
the Diane? Yeah,
I have the Diane Pro right here. This is a good Megaminx, but the problem is their adjustment system. It has this thing where you twist down and then you can take the entire layer off, kind of.
Mhm.
And what happens is that you press down hard enough on this as you're turning, and it will pop it out automatically, and the whole side will come out while you're solving. It's it,
Yeah.
I'm
Video
so glad that
beautiful.
hasn't. Yeah, it's so glad that hasn't happened to me officially, but it has happened to me at home, and it has happened to a friend that I know. Uh, I don't know if he's coming on the podcast now, but it has happened to him before with the Dime Pro.
But yeah, I think definitely GAN has been stepping up their game in the if you think of it in the big picture, GAN used to be the Apple of speedkeeping. Not they still are, but they used to be the three by
Top
three,
dog. They used to be
the,
top 3x3
just
top dog.
just the 3x3 people.
Yeah.
Now they're definitely expanding their sites with this Megaminx and this new 5x5. I
I
know
hope they continue.
a
I
lot
hope
of
this.
people want them to do the square one,
Yeah,
and
I heard the
and
square
clock
one.
square one and clock. And I definitely think clock's definitely the thing that needs the more
Pyraminx as
hardware with it.
well. I think they need to upgrade their Pyraminx
But yeah,
by
I
quite a
mean,
bit.
we don't know. We got the world
Yeah,
record on it.
yeah.
Apparently
Never
not.
mind. You're doing good, Gan.
But yeah, GAN's definitely been expanding their sites with the puzzles. So
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see how
All
this
pans out.
15 is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that I think is about the last thing we are just discussing on this segment. So we're probably going to wrap this up. This is definitely how we're going to probably run this podcast. We're going to have 4 to 5 segments. We're mainly going to start this intro with this explaining
And
all these little things.
also as well, we are going to be getting better at this. Of course, this is the first podcast we've done. We're
We'll be
also
upgrading software. We'll be upgrading
we're going to be
our
upgrading software. His camera
stuff.
will be updated.
Yeah, I'll
uh,
get that in soon within the next month or so. We'll see how
okay.
that works out. We'll be
Uh,
listening to feedback over what anyone wants to say if they
yeah. If you have
have
any
anything to share.
ideas, put it in the comments.
If you're
We
trying
can
to
all,
critique us, I don't really care. This is a fun podcast. I'm not trying to.
yeah. Go ahead and put.
I'm not trying. We're not trying to hate on any of these keepers. If we critique some solves later on the feature, if we just critique people's styles,
Mhm.
the way they're solving or something like that, we are mainly
Just breaking it
trying to
down
get
and
breaking this
discussing.
down and discussing it, like especially because we're going to be doing a lot of controversies in this next
Hmm.
episode coming up. I won't spoil anything, but we'll be getting into that, and just know that we're definitely not hating on any of these people. We respect them, and we think they're way better than us. We know they're way better than us.
Yeah, we know.
We're
Yeah,
not
we're not saying
trying to
we're
do anything
better.
better. No,
Lincoln, this
we definitely are not better.
here, Lincoln. This is how you improve on pyramid. So I want to.
Okay.
We're not doing that. Okay.
Josiah does have a channel. We will be linking his channel down below. I am too self-conscious to have a channel, so I will not be linking my channel down below. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, come
Give it a
back for the
thumbs
next
up.
episode.
Give it a thumbs up
And
too.
yeah, we'll catch you later on the second episode.
Okay.
See you later.
See you guys later. Peace.